I realized that these posts needed a project a week before summer ended. I am not ashamed to say that I finished it on the very last day. I know most of you are in the same boat as me. This project is designed as sort of a motivational warning for myself not to do the same thing in the future, for as I learned, laziness and procrastination only brings pain. My summer got off to a good start. I had actually bought a copy of both books I needed on the first day. I read about 4 pages of No Summit and quickly threw it on the ground and didn't touch it for a few weeks. My first post occurred when it came to me that I needed to have a mix of posts from every month or else I would fail. About a week later, I gave myself a plan. I would read 20 pages of each book every day. The picture in this post shows the lackluster condition of my room that day. I am actually ashamed to say that it stood that way up to the very end. I followed this plan for about 4 days. Somehow I was so lazy and dumb that I didn't even read the instructions for the assignment until the end of July. Even then I neglected to read about the project. Miss Hartley left a comment on this post, which ended up inspiring my idea for this project. Originally this project was supposed to be a character evaluation of myself, but then my friend Will reminded me how pretentious that sounded. Thanks, Will. I also think that this project is a bit more interesting now that it only focuses on the negative aspect of myself, instead of talking about how great I am. This next post is about how I spent my entire month of July after quitting my job at McDonald's. My schedule consisted of waking up at 3 p.m. and going to sleep at 3 a.m. I wish I would have spent my time doing something productive, but I guess it was fun while it lasted. I landed myself a new job at Krispy Kreme Donuts at the end of July. That's where things got even worse. On days that I worked, I got up, worked, and then went back to bed after about an hour of relaxing. Relaxing mostly consisted of laying on the floor playing on my phone. A week before school started, I realized how much trouble I was in for my school projects. I think this post was just me subconsciously crying out for help because I had so much work left to do. This past week has been one of the hardest in my short life. I worked 5 8-hour shifts and had 3 300-page books that I barely even started and had to read, as well as a paper for psych and this video. It doesn't help that I am an incredibly slow reader. I started off reading No Summit Out of Sight. I dreaded every minute I had to read this book. It may just be me, but I found Jordan's story incredibly dull. The worst part of reading this book was having to read the same story 8 times over. I feel the messages, while still good, are overdone. You could probably draw the same morals from an old Disney movie. Follow your dreams! I then read On Writing. I found the book interesting and thought it was a good mix of humor and seriousness. I can see why they had us read this book for AP Lang. I then read Blank. Besides destroying everything I thought about free will and intelligence, it was a good read. Overall, this summer was fun, but I am disappointed in myself. The most important thing I learned was that I have a lot of growing up to do in a short amount of time. I thought that I was responsible, but once again I procrastinated. I hope that on the next project I will think back to this and stick to my plan, because I know I never want to go through this week again.